Hello, I'm thrilled to welcome you to Affinity's Hurricane Preparedness Training. Hurricanes don't just test your community, they test your planning, your communication, and your leadership. You are very lucky. You're with Affinity Management Services. You're part of a solutions-driven culture that meets challenges head-on. That's what we do at Affinity: align, execute, and deliver. I'm going to make sure that as a community association manager, you know what actions to take before hurricane season begins, that you can execute our communication plan during storm season, and you can act with confidence after the storm. I will show you where to get letter templates, checklists, and supply lists. Let's start with the basics. Florida's hurricane season runs from June 1st to November 30th. The Saffir-Simpson scale tells us what we're dealing with, from very dangerous to extremely dangerous, to devastating to catastrophic. You need to understand this so that you can act with the right sense of urgency throughout the life of a storm. Hurricane Andrew in 1992 was a Category 5 catastrophic storm. It tore through Homestead and Florida City with 165 miles per hour wind and cost the U.S. over $25 billion, and that was back in 1992. It rewrote Florida building codes. Literally, the Florida Building Code even specified what type of nails, how long they needed to be, and how many nails to use in different parts of the roof. After Andrew, impact windows and reinforced roofing systems became the norm. 2022. September. Hurricane Ian hit the west coast of Florida as a Category 4, with sustained winds of over 150 miles per hour, and just prior to hitting, it was a Category 5. 150 lives and $112 billion in damage later. Hurricane Ian stands as the costliest disaster in Florida's history and the third costliest in U.S. history. 2.5 million people were without power. There was more than 10 inches of rain in a 24-hour period, and a whopping 12 feet of storm surge. That's taller than most people's ceilings in their home. 2,500 people who did not evacuate had to be rescued. We must plan for the worst and hope for the best. Your pre-storm actions and your post-storm response is critical to getting your community back up and running. Your boards and residents are counting on you to be proactive and take ownership of the hurricane preparation tasks and communications. You must know what action to take during hurricane watch and what to do when a hurricane warning has been issued. May 15th is right around the corner, and we must get owner notifications and vendor notifications sent out so that everyone can start finalizing their plans and get ready for the storm season. The letters this season have been updated with Affinity branding, are clearly written with the right sense of urgency, and they all have easy-to-view and consistent formatting. Get your contracted service providers on board early to help you before and after the storm. Review your contract with them and call them on the phone to discuss your expectations. We recommend that you have at least 3 vendors for each service. You can find all the pre-season notification letters under the Community Association Manager folder in Teams. Do not, I repeat, do not overwrite these files. Your first step is to copy the folder to your community drive. Once you have copied them to your community drive, you can now open each document and begin customizing the letters for your community's unique features. You have from now to May 31st to complete all of your preseason tasks. By June 1st, all of your property preparations are complete. From June 1st through November 30th, we all know what to do, right? That's right. Pray for good weather. One of the lists in your hurricane folder is the Office Emergency Supply List. This may seem simple, but failing to harden your office can cause you to lose critical files, electronics, and communication tools when you need them most. Moreover, you may not have critical supplies when you need them the most. Talk to your board about this suggested supply list. If you're missing any items, consider restocking and storing these items. Be sure to check all the items in your on-site emergency supply kit and make sure nothing is expired, needs to be replaced, and is in working order. You should consider labeling each item with an affinity management property label for tracking. Okay, it's storm time. The National Weather Service has announced an active storm in your area. What are you going to do? Well, here's what you're not going to do. Stay calm. Take a deep breath. Don't panic. You've prepared for this moment and know exactly what to do. If you are in Fort Lauderdale, what's the situation? And what is your action? How about West Palm Beach? And Port St. Lucie? What's the situation? With a storm warning versus a storm watch, you need to know what communication to send and what actions to take. Again, this is where your professional management and planning skills pay off. You have read and understand the standard operating procedures and know what steps to take before, during, and after the storm. You know what letters to send at each stage of the storm. You know how to prepare your property and what actions to take after the storm passes so that you and your community rebound and come out stronger and more united than ever. Take out your checklists and assign tasks to your on-site team and contracted service providers. Initial each part of the checklist to ensure you don't miss any important tasks. We've covered the critical elements of hurricane management: alignment before hurricane season, executing communication and being solutions focused after impact, and delivering all necessary templates, checklists, and supplies. As the Community Association Manager, your preparedness directly impacts your residents' safety and recovery. The work you do now will determine how well your communities weather tomorrow's storms. Take these tools and implement them in your associations. Your leadership makes all the difference. Thank you for watching and be safe during the storm season.